All right, Shalom, Brother Kashakwala coming back at you with another lesson, giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Chakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. All right, today's lesson was inspired. I got the inspiration from Apostle Aramlab. He just did a live stream not too long ago, speaking about eating the whole roll. Well, I'm gonna name this lesson "Continue to Eat." So continue to eat what is set before you. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and get that real quick. In Ecclesiasticus, the 31st chapter. Bear with me as I go to it. Let's see here. I think it's eat. There we go. Ecclesiasticus 31:16 says, "Eat as it becometh a man those things which are set before thee." Right. So you eat what is set before thee. That's what's adequate and sufficient for your, or beneficial for your your continuance in the faith. Really. I'm gonna hold that real quick. All right, this is Hebrews chapter 5 and 12. It says, "For when the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of the heavenly Father, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai." It says, "and are become such as need of milk, and not a strong meat." Right. So when you have to be taught again, you have the milk is the necessity, and that's what's set before you to consume or to devour. Okay. It says, "and not of strong meat." Baby doesn't start off eating some beef jerky. We've heard that analogy time and time again while in this truth. When you first come in, you gotta be weaned. Okay. See here. Let's go to 1 Samuel real quick, because even Samuel, man. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna type. I know it's in 1 Samuel though. If I spelled that right. Yeah, there we go. 1 Samuel 1:22 says, "But Hannah went not up, for she said unto her husband, I will not go up until the child is weaned." Okay? Until the child is weaned. All right? Let's see here. Salakia. And that word is weaned is gamal, which means to deal fully with. You see that? When you're first coming into it, and still to now, we are continuing to read the scripts to fully understand it. Therefore, what we are still being dealt with fully. When you're reading, you're becoming closer to the Lord, and the Spirit is starting to work with you. It's dealing with you. You see what I'm saying? So that's weaning. Okay. It says to deal out to, due to. It says deal bountifully with. All right. Do I want to get that word? I think I do. Word bountiful. It says a large in quantity, abundant. It says giving generously. You see that? To deal bountifully, meaning to deal with very generously. When you're intaking this milk and shit, you intaking the meat, because there are men out there who are taking the bites of the solid food of the scripts. Okay? We are being dealt with very generously, and we're being dealt with and given things in abundance, which is the understanding when you read. All right. So that's why you have to continue. I did a lesson not too long ago about reading. When you continue to read, you are being dealt with generously, and you're being given something abundantly, which is the wisdom and understanding. You have to continue to eat. All right. Yes, eat the whole roll, but continue to eat. Okay. Every day you have a meal. If the Lord bless you with a meal that you eat, but what, you just stop eating after that day? No, you continue to eat, so it can be sufficient for you to have the energy for the day and for the days to come, however long we are alive. You see, every day you have to eat. Okay, and when you eat, it fills your stomach abundantly. It's the same thing with the scripts. When you continue to eat it, you are filled abundantly. Okay, I'm gonna go back to this, and I'm gonna go back to Sirach. This is Hebrews 5:13. It says, "For everyone that useth milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness," which is nothing wrong with that. It's always good to drink the milk. Grown people drink milk. Okay, just because you're not a little kid or a baby anymore and you transition over to adulthood does not mean that you don't drink milk. Just carnally speaking, milk is still good for it's calcium, it's good for your bones. It still strengthens you regardless. It may not be coming from the tit, but the milk in a whole is good for you. It's the same thing. It's always good to go back over things. Maybe hey, I'm gonna say this. You can go back over the milk and realize there's meat in it. You see what I'm saying? It says, for he is a babe, right? Because a babe is weaned, okay? It's dealt with abundantly, like we just read in 1 Samuel 1:22. It says, "But Hannah went not up, for she said unto her husband, I will not go up until the child is weaned, and then will I bring him, that he may appear before the Lord, and there abide forever." Right? Once you're weaned, you see that? You continue to be weaned, and then you dealt with abundantly. You can make an appearance before the Lord, and He will recognize you. That's why the scriptures say the word meet. All right, MEET, which means acceptable. You see what I'm saying? All right. So going back to Ecclesiasticus 31, and I'm gonna finally get the precept that I wanted. Ecclesiasticus 31:16 says, "Eat as it becometh a man those things which are set before thee." It says, "And devour not, lest thou be hated." Correct. You don't skip any process. Okay. If you are in the process of being weaned, you don't jump to eating, some peas or some, green beans, some whole type foods. You're still being weaned. You need the liquid to, nourish you at the moment. You jump too fast, like it says, "Lest thou be hated," that goes into you'll start choking. Okay. If a baby that's a few months old is not being fed whole green beans, okay, whole green peas. You see what I'm saying? They're being weaned from the tit. All right. They're not being choked out. Being hated is you being choked out, or another good analogy or saying that people say, "I'm gonna smoke you out," meaning like if you ever been, I'm not gonna say if you ever been, but if there's a fire, a lot of people would say a house catches fire and people are inside. A lot of people don't die from the flames itself. A lot of people die from being smoked out, from inhaling that black smoke in the air. That's what a lot of people die from. That's being choked out and smoked out. It's the same thing with this. If you skip a step and decide not to be weaned, you'll be hated. Okay? You'll be hated. And that goes back to the first chapter of Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiasticus 1:28. I'll start there. It says, "Distrust not the fear of the Lord when thou art poor, and come not unto him with a double heart." Right. Having a double heart is skipping processes. Okay. Or being lukewarm. All right. Verse 29, it says, "Be not a hypocrite in the sight of men." Right. It says, and take good heed that what thou speakest. Right. It says, be not a hypocrite in the sight of men, meaning that murmuring spirit, talking shit behind someone's back, but not actually practicing it, or going up to that man and telling him, all right, it goes back to what Yahweh Shai was saying. How can you tell someone to get the beam out their eye and you got mote in yours? You're not practicing. You're being a hypocrite in the sight of men, which would in turn go back to Ecclesiasticus, the 31st chapter, the 16th verse, lest thou be hated. Hypocrites are not liked. All right. What's the saying? Do as I say, not as I do. No, motherfucker. If you telling me to do something, I need to see you doing it too. It's called practice what you preach. All these little sayings that I'm saying are like, quote unquote, cliche to the world, but they're absolutely true. If you're a hypocrite, you'll be hated in the sight of men, man. All right. Verse 30 says, exalt not thyself. And exalting yourself is having a high mind or being proud. Okay. Which in turn, again, will make you be hated. And it will make you skip steps. Oh, I don't want to be weaned. I don't need the milk. Okay. Oh, I don't need to read this. I don't need to read that. Okay. It says, lest thou fall. Correct. So you're going to exalt yourself. Well, guess what? You're going to fall. Because the Lord don't deal with the high and lofty. Okay. If anything, like the scriptures say, matter of fact, I'm going to get it. All right. High. Soft. High and lofty. The high and lofty one. The only high and lofty one is the Lord. Isaiah 57:15. For thus said the high and lofty one that inhabited eternity, whose name is holy. I dwell in the high and holy place. It is high and separate from you. All right. With him also that is of a contrite. See, that's a spirit that is of a contrite and humble spirit. Right. So you can't sit here and exalt yourself. All right. If you're exalting yourself, you're basically saying that you're the high and lofty one. Okay. And there's only one high and lofty one. You can see that one is capitalized. It's Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right. Who sit upon the throne, the high holy throne. Okay. And it says, with him also that is of a contrite and humble spirit, to revive the spirit of the humble. Right. He can revive the spirit of the humble because they are in a low position and they're not exalting themselves. It says, and to revive the heart of the contrite ones. Contrite meaning of the ground, of the dust, of the earth. You got to revive something. If someone's high and lofty already, what is there to revive? The only thing to do is bring his ass down, because there can only be one high and lofty. All right, he says, exalt not thyself, lest thou fall, and bring dishonor upon thy soul. Right, going back again to Ecclesiasticus 31, about skipping steps, lest thou be hated, man. It says, and so the Most High discover thy secrets. Right, you may sound good to the naked eye or to the naked ear, pulling out all these precepts that are quote unquote deep, and you can go into this and that. But if somebody asks you, hey man, I need the 12 tribes of Israel, or someone comes up and asks, hey, what does the sign mean? And you tripping up because you can't even explain what the sign means. Well, guess what? You've been exposed. The Lord has discovered the secrets. It shows that you really haven't been eaten, and you really haven't been weaned. All right. It says, and cast thee down in the midst of the congregation, because thou camest not in truth. Right. You can't skip out on certain steps, or you will be exposed. It's called it. Let me see. I want to say exposition. All right. Let me just get the word, make sure it's correct. Exposition. And again, y'all brother know I'm terrible. Gotta spell it out and shit. It says a comprehensive description and explanation of an idea or theory, a large public exhibition of art or trade goods. Which, okay, this word exposition is good. because it says the action of making public exposure. You see that? So you're going to be there. You're going to be exposed. All right. In exposition. Okay. Showing that you're not weaned, that you haven't been reading. All right. It says to the fear of the Lord by, or studying. I'll say that. To the fear of the Lord by the heart. By thy heart is full deceit. Right. You're trying to fake the funk, you know. Oh yeah, I'm in this thing. I know this, I know that. But ain't even read the book of Genesis yet. You see what I'm saying? Okay. And I'm not sitting here saying that the book of Genesis is just easy read. The book of Genesis and Revelation are probably the two hardest books to break down. All right. But I'm just implying, because that's the beginning. That's the first thing you open when you see the book is in the beginning. You see a big Genesis title. If anyone, you will start there. You see what I'm saying? The word Genesis means the beginning. What is it? Ra'ash. Baha Ra'ash, man. What I said was in the head. Or the head meaning first thing in the beginning. All right, so that's all. Jeremiah 15:15. It says, O Lord, thou knowest, remember me and visit me and revenge me of my prosecutors. Take me not away in thy long suffering. Know that for thy sake I have suffered a rebuke. Right. Getting this truth, the people that you think was closest to you start to turn on you. All right. And they start to try to rebuke you and things of that nature, but they don't know. Verse 16, it says, thy words were found. Right. And I did eat them. That goes into what we're talking about. You have to continue to eat. Jeremiah continued to eat, which was set before thee, according to Ecclesiasticus 31. And he continued to preach. I could bring out the Ezekiel, but I'm doing, kind of like a low-key response to Apostle Ramla. I mean, he had brought the Ezekiel out eating the whole roll. All right. And it says, and thy word was unto me the joy and rejoicing of mine heart. Right. It's kind of the same thing that Ezekiel said. I ate the roll and it was sweet like honey, but when it went down, it was bitter. You see what I'm saying? It says, for I am called by thy name. Right. He ate and realized he was called by the Lord's name, Yasha Arla. Okay. Now, of course, Jeremiah knew he was Israelite, but in this case, for us, when we eat, we found out, bro, I'm a son of the power. You see? It says, O Lord of, O Yahweh, power of hosts, of armies. Verse 17, I sat down in the assembly of the mockers, I sat not in the assembly of the mockers, nor rejoiced. I sat alone because of thy hand. Right. Because he ate the roll. All right. When you eat the roll, you become unorthodox to the world. Therefore, you end up becoming alone. All right. It's true. People come against you and you just don't want to be around it no more. All right. I know a lot of brothers wear stones, and one of the stones I know a lot of brothers wear is a lapis stone. It looks like a bluish stone. And the benefits of that is to ward off and shield you from negative energy. When you read the scripts, you become consecrated, like we just read in, in Isaiah? The high and lofty one. Isaiah 57:15, he says, high and holy place. When you start to read, you become closer to the Lord, which is in the high and holy place, making yourself separate from everything else. That's what happens. It just happens like that. Straight up. Some people who may have scoffed and rebuked you in the beginning may come around. Others may just stuck in their ways. But most people are going to be stuck in their ways. You got individuals who you may have been with, done you dirty. You see what I'm saying? Or you may had a rib in the truth, and next thing you know, demons jump on her and she does some off the fucking wall shit. You see what I'm saying? It happens. That's what happens when you get closer to the Lord. He starts consecrating. He separates you from the negative. Straight up. He separates you from the negative. He makes you see the demons on people. All right. That's what happens when you eat the roll. Okay. It says, I sat alone because of thy hand, for thou hast filled me with indignation. Right. I hate this fucking place, man. Straight up. I'm tired of it. You see? It makes you open your eyes. You read the book of Ecclesiastes. It says all's a vexation of the spirit, man. Vanity and vexation of the spirit. When you start reading and eating the roll. All right, I'm going to get this last precept and then close it out. I don't, brothers be funny when they say that. I don't want to make it too long, 30 minutes in. So I ain't going to say that. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 14. Start at 37. So I took the five. I started 38. And the next day, behold, a voice called me, saying, Ezra, open thy mouth and drink that I give thee to drink. Then I opened my mouth, and behold, he reached me a full cup, which was full as it were with water, but the color of it was like fire. And I took it and drank. And when I had drunk of it, my heart uttered understanding, and wisdom grew in my breast. For my spirit was strengthened. For my spirit strengthened my memory. And my mouth was open and shut no more. Right. That's it. He gave understanding to him, but he told him to drink this full cup. Just like you're supposed to eat the whole roll, the full cup in this is symbolic, again, of the scripts. All right, which you're supposed to be eating daily. So Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai by Shem Rachakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. Brother Kasha Kwala. Until the next time, like always, Shalom.